Hey fellas, when I was a teenager up into my 20s, I had major clinical depression. Major clinical depression. And the first line therapy seems to be antidepressant, right? Makes sense. You got depression, antidepressant. And I don't think that's the right way to go. And I think doctors are supposed to be problem solvers, right? They should be problem solvers. And a lot of doctors are not. And that's extremely unfortunate because a problem solver is somebody who takes your unique situation and tries to solve the problem based on your personal life factors and not just fucking cookie cut medicines to you. Obviously, everyone, men's clinics will cookie cut hormone therapy protocols, and it's just ridiculous and it pisses me off to no end. But, psychiatrists do the same thing. You're a little bit depressed, antidepressant. It's like, let's work it as a team a little bit here. It can get really complicated, right? Because it depends on your level of depression. But I think if you were able to do things in a stepwise fashion, it would be, let's look at lifestyle factors, right? How's your diet? How's your exercise? Are you socializing? All these things, right? Can we improve those? And depression is a positive feedback loop, right? If you're depressed, you're going to have a hard time accomplishing the things that would help alleviate your depression. So you get this positive feedback loop of depression where you're unable to get out of it. And that's one of the worst things about depression is you can't help yourself, right? Can't help yourself out of it. But if you work hard as your ass off and try to get yourself out of it because your lifestyle factors are shit, then that could potentially improve your depression. Alongside that, I think primary care doctors and psychiatrists need to be well aware of a comprehensive lab work. And I'm not, most PCPs will do lab work once a year and they'll do comprehensive labs, but they'll skip out on maybe thyroid or they'll skip out on a sex hormone panel. And these things are extremely important. If you've got, and not just for low T, but if you got hyperprolactinemia and you got a prolactinoma that's causing, elevated prolactin, that can certainly cause a lot of problems. You got low vitamin D, that could definitely cause depression. So you need to search for a physiologic reason, right? And then possibly treat that. Low vitamin D supplementation or getting outside. Got hypothyroid, treat the thyroid. Low testosterone, can you adjust lifestyle factors to increase your testosterone, or are you just so trapped in the rut where you can't get out? Because that's where I was, man. I was, I eventually got to the point where I was a majorly depressed borderline alcoholic, and I couldn't get out of it. I was in the rut, man. And if you have depression, you know what that's like to be in that rut, and you just can't. You don't have the oomph to help yourself. I was desperate, and I saw that my T was low, and I was like, please God, let this help. And luckily for me, it relieved my depression to such an extraordinary degree. It was almost mind blowing. So it's kind of a chicken or the egg thing, right? It's like, of course, I want you to improve your lifestyle factors so that you can decrease your depression, maybe improve your biological markers, right? Your hormone markers and other markers, because just going outside can increase your vitamin D, right? Or going outside, exercising, eating right can increase your testosterone, which will make you feel better if you're hypogonadal. And it can be very complicated. And if you're just catatonically depressed to the point where you can't get out of bed, regardless of lab values and things like that, you maybe regardless of some lab values like low vitamin D, like if you're inside all the time, of course your vitamin D is probably gonna be low, and your testosterone is probably gonna be low because your diet is shit and you're just laying in bed and maybe smoking weed all day. It's like, if you're catatonically depressed, first line treatment would probably be an antidepressant, so that you can at least get the little bump you need so that you can start improving those lifestyle factors, which may improve abnormal lab values. So it's very complex interplay between lifestyle factors, abnormal or lifestyle factors, lab values, and severity of depression. And I think psychiatrists, man, it's like, damn, God, people go through fucking med school, like they're board certified psychiatrists. They should do things man per man and not just shit you an antidepressant just because you're depressed. It's like, let's look at your labs. Let's look at your lifestyle factors. What can we reasonably adjust with your life to improve things on your labs, if they are improvable, in order to alleviate your depression? Or are you so catatonically depressed that you need a lifeline, and an antidepressant can be the kickstart that you might need. Of course, antidepressants come with side effects, but man, there's some people that just do really, really well on antidepressants. I used Zoloft for a time, it was meh for me. I could see the benefit from it, but it definitely had some side effects, nothing major, but I just eventually got off of it because I couldn't cry or come. And if you can't cry or come for long enough, you fucking explode. At least that's what I read online. But yeah, it's a complex interplay, and I think doctors just fucking cookie cut. They cookie cut so often. Yeah, that's basically the point of today. And it kind of stemmed from just thinking about how primary care doctors so often don't pull a hormone panel. And I think it's because they don't want to deal with it. But if they don't want to deal with it, they can just refer you on to urology if something comes back abnormal. And fuck, if you're depressed, comprehensive lab work can be extremely enlightening. If you're hypothyroid, hypogonadal, if you got low vitamin D, if you're vitamin D deficient, I got, hyperprolactinemia, you got a prolactinoma that needs to be fixed with cabergoline. It's like labs can reveal so much. And if your labs are normal and you're depressed, you're catatonically depressed, and your lifestyle factors, like how could you be catatonically depressed and have optimal lifestyle factors? They don't go hand in hand. So you got to, question as a psychiatrist and as the patient, are you able to reasonably, within reason, improve your diet, improve your exercise, improve lifestyle factors, lose weight if you're obese, etc. Or are you stuck in that situation where you are so catatonically depressed that you can't even fucking help yourself, and you just need that kickstart from a medication, and that's where antidepressant would be first line. But I don't think an antidepressant is always first line for every individual. It's man per man, and you should look at the whole picture: lifestyle, lab work, situation, right? For example, in my situation, my psychiatrist saw that I read as mildly depressed on a questionnaire, and he immediately wanted to put me on an antidepressant. And I said no, because it's normal in my situation to be depressed. I have situational depression. And if you take away my ability to cry and come, I'm going to fucking kill you. It's situational depression. It's normal for me to be depressed. I'm moving back in my parents' house because I have medical problems that doctors can't fucking, they won't do anything to help me. It's fucking absurd. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I have situational depression that is normal, and I recognize it as normal, and I recognize it as somewhat cathartic, right? There are some days I just need to lay in bed and be basically catatonic and just nobody talk to me, and I just wanted to be depressed. Just let me be depressed, And you take that away from me, you flatten out my mood with an antidepressant. It's gonna be worse for my mental health than if you just let me be depressed. So again, it's complicated. And I just think I'm not even talking to psychiatrists. I'm talking to patients. So I just think you should vet your psychiatrist carefully. I just think you should vet your level of depression carefully. I think you should push for comprehensive lab work, including hormone values. If your hormone values come back low, you need to take a look at your lifestyle factors. Can you reasonably improve your lifestyle factors, or are you too depressed to even try? Then maybe an antidepressant would be first line, so you can try to improve your lifestyle factors to improve testosterone. If you're unable to do that, then maybe testosterone replacement would be beneficial for you, in this situation. When all I have is a hammer, everything's a nail, right? So I try not to just say get this guy on T because he's depressed. But if you need it, you need it. And this depression is certainly more complicated than even psychiatrists make it out to be. Take the whole man, take the whole picture, and treat everyone as an individual. So be mindful of that as a patient. If you're depressed and you're looking for help, be mindful of how that fractals out, how that can become complicated, the interplay between lifestyle, situation, labs, and severity of depression, because the interplay there is so complicated and needs to be teased out what can be addressed and what can't before just putting somebody on a medication. That's the video for today. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, never have a good sign off. Don't have a name for you guys yet. T-boys. It's probably pretty cringe. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.